everyone, my name is Jeffrey and welcome back for episode 61 of the Satisfactory series here on YouTube. In this video, it's the final space elevator part factory with magnetic field generators. Not a super complicated build, just some small parts mixed together with a previous battery factory. We can pump out 10 per minute. A total of 4,000 is needed to finish off the goal and bring our main progression to a close. Thank you all for the support and help with the series so far. Let's get to playing games. Alright everybody, welcome to the final space elevator part build of this world anyway. As you know, we got a full restart coming up in 1.0. And I'll be doing a couple things more after this episode anyway, so I mean Satisfactory is not coming quite to an end just yet. But I did leave kind of an easier one to the very end. Again, we do need 4,000 of them, but this build is a little bit easier. Thanks to those 50 batteries we put together a few episodes back. All we have to do together is, all we have to do today is put together the last few parts that we're going to need. I think it's some electromagnetic control rods and something else mixed with the batteries to put together the magnetic field generators. Ah yes, versatile framework. Another one of those bad boys we got to throw together. I mean, technically, we don't. I could just use the ones we've already made, but just for the sake of, you know, people following along and stuff like that, I'm actually going to put them together because honestly, it's really not that hard to put together 25 per minute, and we're going to be using a good handful of alternate recipes today, just to mix it up and change up some of the builds I've done previously. But I do have a platform set up for us ready to go. We are going to be heading over to right about there. It's partially in between the drone or the giant swamp factory and the gas filters factory. It's right about here. We have all the nodes that we're going to need up there. Basically all we really need, we need some coal, we need some iron, we need some copper, we need some caterium. All of which can be done off the, I don't think you need any pure nodes. Nope, everything is below 600, so you can use all normal nodes or less. So we'll head on over there today, grab everything you're going to need. We need 35 constructors, 30 smelters, 12 foundries, 10 manufacturers, 23 assemblers, and 4 minor well, you actually don't even need minor mark 3s, we just need 4 miners. They're going to be putting out some very specific numbers. Some of them are small, some of them are a bit bigger. But we're pretty much ready to go. So thank you guys again for being here. Thank you for supporting the series all the way along here to our final space elevator build. Like I said, we'll do a couple more things after this. I mentioned it before, I'm going to be dropping the Satisfactory uploads down to once a week. And then we'll be mixing in some other games as well, just to tide us over until the full release of the game. I got a few things lined up ready to go thanks to some gifts from you guys. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And we're also coming up on, we're in the just over 900, so we're on our way to 1,000 subscribers, which means we'll be doing our Satisfactory kart racing stream here pretty soon. So hopefully I'll see you guys there for that. I'm trying to, hopefully we get as many people in as possible. I think the races will be even better that way. And then the world will be available to download if anyone just wants to try it with their friends in their off time. But other than that, let's head on over and I will see you guys at my platform. Oh, I did, it is, as usual, you will find the the magnetic field empty platform download in the Google Drive in the description if you want to follow along exactly. You can go ahead and start from there. If not, let's just head on over there and have some fun. Alright, here I am at the pre-built platform that may or may not be big enough. I'm actually not really 100% sure. And we'll go over the miners as well while we're here. Just to quickly show you in the map. Like I said, we're just right here, just south of that weird looking elephant shaped pond. Right in between the two factories here. Which is going to be great because we actually want to be able to bring the batteries over. Once we get most of the other stuff here set up and ready to go. So just to go over the numbers with you guys really quick for miners, we've got our iron and our caterium right here. literally stacked right next to each other. It was perfect. We got our Caterium set to 120 per minute. We have our iron set to 551.25 per minute. Those are already ready to go. And then we've also got down here our coal. There's a couple pure nodes of coal right here that I saved for future project. What I think I'm going to end up doing is doing a big old weapons factory. I'm trying to automate like every single weapon there is in the game. So yeah, there's the normal node right here that is set to 457.5 per minute. It's real dry here in California today. But yeah, so you got one pure node here, 3 pure nodes here. Wow, that's crazy. And then you have the one normal node right there that we're going to be using today. So that's going to be coming up. Excuse me? How did you get there? Did you like ride up the... How are you here? Alright. Anyway, so yeah, that's the coal that we're going to be using. That's the Caterium, and that's the iron. And the only other, well, 2 other things you need. The only other raw material you're going to need is the copper. That comes from, that one had to come a little bit further. That comes from right here to pure, well, one pure node. Actually, they're both pure nodes? I think they're both pure nodes. But anyway, this one is set to 222.5 per minute. That is going to pump up all the copper that we're going to need. And then this other belt here is a very long belt that runs all the way back to the battery build we had last time. I haven't hooked it up yet, obviously, but we're going to need 50 batteries. I think I made 150 per minute. So we're just going to take 50. It's going to run into this factory once we're all set up ready to go. But we got our to-do list on the side. Let me just take a little look up so you guys can see it a little bit better. We got our smelter foundry area. We've got AI limiters, stitched iron plates, steel production, which includes pipes and a few other things. Then we've got modular frames and stators, electromagnetic control rods, along with the versatile framework. And then the magnetic field generators at the very end will bring the batteries over. Kind of break it down into some little bits today. Quite a few things to do, but no like crazy numbers. There's no like 100 constructors for one specific thing in this scenario. Like, I think the highest number is like 10 constructors. Like, there's more smelters probably than anything else, and then everything else pretty straightforward. So let's jump right into it today. Let's start with our smelter foundry area. So we are going to start with what do we got over here? We got the Caterium, we got the iron. So the iron has to go with the coal. I mean, all our raw materials are kind of would make sense. The most sense, I think, we kind of set it up along back here. So I think what we'll do is we'll bring the Caterium up. We'll do the Caterium first. We'll bring that up immediately, so we can just bring it right up here, and that way I can push the iron behind the Caterium to mix with the coal. It's going to come up because those are going to need smelters and foundries. So actually, maybe what I'll do is I'll just lift the Caterium up, and then I'll set them up here, and then we'll go from there. And then the Caterium and the copper, pretty small setups. Caterium, I think we only need like 3 or 4 smelters, and then the copper is like 8. So these ones will be pretty straightforward and easy to set up, the first ones. So let's start with our Caterium, just to make sure I'm doing my numbers correctly. Yep, we're going to be popping out a whole whopping 40 Caterium ingots per minute. How about that? Crazy numbers, right? So you will need 3 smelters. I don't even think I have that small of a blueprint, do I? Yeah, I don't even have that small of a blueprint. So you know what? I'm just gonna do these. I'm gonna do this one manually. So we need 3 smelters for this one. So we're going 1. I'm even gonna give it some space. Why not? Look at that. Look at all this room for activities we have to work with. I mean, this is gonna kind of be how it'll be, or this is kind of how it will be when we end up doing our restart for 1.0. For the first little bit, we're not gonna have accents. I mean, I'm always gonna have my Canadian accent apparently, but the main thing is there's gonna be we're gonna be going back to a lot slower building in the beginning because when do you get blueprints again? Like, was it tier 3 or tier 4? I know we're gonna have access to trains a lot sooner, so that'll be really cool. I'm gonna start using a lot more vehicles and stuff in my 1.0 playthrough. I'm so excited for September 10th. Okay, so we're gonna put in our conveyor floor hole right here, just so it lines up really nicely. It's probably gonna be a little ugly with that, but that's okay. And we will grab our lift, slide it in there, fill it in with the belt. And these will be set to Caterium. Like I said, I need 40 per minute. This make 45. So just off the first one here, I'll take off 5. And that'll give me a 40. And then I'm just going to put my mergers on the other side. Where do these go? These go into constructors. So these can go... I figure I don't want to set these up because I'm going to have to set up more smelters and foundries and stuff. So I think what I'll do is I'll just leave them for now. I'm not going to do it until I set up the rest of everything. You know what? Actually, I think this whole back corner is going to be better suited for the iron and coal. So I'm just going to take these out for now. I'm going to redo that whole setup just a little bit. Actually, no, we're going to do the iron one first, just so I know how things are going to be. At least the iron smelters, because we need 19 iron smelters. Okay, that's fine. Okay, yeah, let's do that one first. Okay, so we're going to grab our blueprints for some smelters here. All right, if I need 19 smelters, I'm going to do at least 10 here that I have set up for... in a blueprint. So we'll put down our first 10. Maybe what I'll do. So here's basically the now I need 457.5. That's going to go to the foundries to be mixed with the coal. And then I need another, I think it's like 91.75. Let me double check the number. I need 93.75 going to constructors for doing iron plates. So if I get 30. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll put down another one of these blueprints. Just copy and paste that down right here. Just like that. All right, I forgot. I forgot to actually fix this blueprint. This is the one where I didn't connect all the belts. But here's basically how I'm going to do this. Is I'm going to try and split these so that I can have one little group. And I think what I'll do is I'll just cut off like these 4. And I'll have these 4 make the 93.75. And technically they make 120. But I'll have them make 93.75, and then the rest I will have make the 457.5. So that would be 10, 15, 16. 30 times 16. Nope. It would be 480. So then we just do some downclocking. Okay, yeah, that'll work. So let me just fix my belt problem here really quick. There we go, belts are fixed. And actually, just so it's a little bit less work, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go, let's take this one off. I'm going to turn it so that the belt's going to be facing this way now. I'm going to join it together. I'm going to bring it a little further back so that I can actually, I want to make sure I can get the, no, not that. I need a floor hole to be able to feed that thing. So give it a little bit of space. I come down through the middle like that, should be fine. If I mix it with this merger here, That'll go with these 15. And then so I need 480 minus 457.5. So I need to lose 22.5. So this one on the very end, that's going to mix the, just make this really easy. I'm just going to drop this one down to 7.5. I'll mark it so I know what's what. So that's going to get mixed with everyone else. Everyone else can just be set normally as they are to the 30. Now these four, I needed 93.75. So this makes 120. So 120 minus. So I need to lose 26.25. So I'm going to set this one to do 3.75 per minute. It's very small, but it's just because technically I added an entirely extra smelter into the line. But here's what I'll mark these now. Okay, there we go. Much better. So yeah, now we're just going to put in the floor holes. I think this makes a lot more sense than having the quick wire here. And we'll grab our lifts. Feed them into the splitters. We're going to come down here. Where's this line come? Kind of straightforward like this. Okay, so if I put the lifts on facing this way, just like that, and then we'll grab our splitters. There we go. So splitter there, splitter there. Belt everything together. There you go. There's all your iron. Perfect. Okay, so now technically the foundries, I'll put the foundries in front of here or somewhere around here so that they can just be fed by the iron ingots that'll come out of here, and they'll be mixed with the coal that comes from down there. So that works out really nicely. So now I will do the caterium. So now I'm going to do that caterium setup that I had before, and then we'll also do the copper. So just do the three smelters right here in a row. Nothing too complicated. I'll give myself a little bit of space here because we got a little bit left to work with. There you go. And don't forget, we just want to take the 5 off of this one, so that way we're outputting exactly 40 caterium ingots per minute. Those are going to go into constructors eventually to get mixed with a bunch of the rest of this stuff. And now we can do the copper. The copper, what did I say? We need 8. I need 8. One set is going to be doing 100, and then another set is going to be doing 122.5. So I'm assuming then that means, let me see here. We get 30. Okay, sorry, looking at my build plan. So I think what I'm going to do, this would just be weird otherwise. I think what I'll do is I'll just build like an 8 smelter. Yeah, I'm going to do an 8 smelter, what do you call it? Sorry, my brain stopped working there for a second. I'm going to do an 8 smelter manifold like we did over there. I'm going to wait for this auto save to finish. Do it an 8 smelter manifold, and then we'll just we'll merge it together, and it'll go and it'll feed, because it's going to feed. There's a group of constructors making wire, and then there's another group of constructors making copper sheets. But because the numbers are so small in this build, I can kind of just manifold the whole thing together. So that should be fine, honestly. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my smelter blueprint here, and then I'm just going to delete 2 off the end. Oh, this actually would end up being the perfect amount of space. How about that? There we go, add those in, and then we'll just delete these 2 off the very end here. There we go. Now just make sure we set those from iron to copper. And then I only need, like I said, I'll need 225 per minute. We currently get 240. So 240 minus minus. We gotta lose 17.5. We're gonna set one, this first one right here, we're gonna set this one to 12.5 per minute. There we go, and that'll give us everything we need. So we'll just add a quick little floor hole for this one as well. And then actually we can just go ahead and hook that up right now. We'll grab our lift, put it here on the bottom. We'll bring this belt over. Sorry, the microphone might have just popped because the mini fridge in the room just kicked on. So there we go. There's your copper coming in. You got your iron coming in. We're ready to turn these on in just a moment. One thing we haven't hooked up yet is the Caterium. We can do that now as well though. So just grab your lift. We're going to face it in, facing inwards like that. We're just going to drag our Caterium in and over. I'm going to try and keep things fairly tight here so I'm not wasting any room. And there's your Caterium flowing in now. So we've got all of our, well, most of our raw ingredients hooked up now. We still got to do... How was this guy? I'm going to kill this thing. Still got to do the coal, but that's going to get mixed. We're going to have to figure out where the feed lines are going to come in for that. So let me take this guy out really quick, and then we'll start setting up our coal foundries. All right, so I need a total of, I believe, 12 foundries. One is going to get underclocked severely. One is going to get overclocked by a slight amount because I don't want to give an extra one just for 7.5 because each one makes 60. So I need a line of 600, so that's easy. That's a group of 10. Then I have one that can be overclocked just a little bit. That can be the 67.5. And then we'll have the one that's going to get underclocked severely. That'll be the 18.75. That's going to be making some steel rods for us. That's kind of part of just the... I did end up using quite a few alternate recipes to not only mix things up, but it also, I believe, got me to under 600 iron ore. So, I mean, even though this is pure and it wouldn't have mattered, you can base this build off of all non-pure nodes, which I think is really nice too. So we can go ahead and start putting in our foundries here. I'm going to put them in all manually because I don't have any sort of like crazy blueprints set up for this or anything. So we're going to do, we'll put them in a little ways like this so I don't have enough space behind them. We're going to go, here's the one all by itself. I may have space in between because I think I got a little bit of room to work with here. Actually, I'm going to do this a little different. I'm going to turn these. Let me go ahead and get rid of that really quick. I'll turn them to be like this. So I'm going to go... There's our one. Give it some space in between, obviously. Yeah, there's two. Okay, so that'll be the underclocked and the overclocked one. And I'm going to do 10, but I want them to be... I should probably do it as like a... Do like a 5 and 5 sort of thing. So maybe I'll go... Sorry, I changed my mind one more time. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to grab our foundries. I'm using this merger just to kind of know where I want to line things up from. So I want to do my... I'm going to do 2 groups of 5. That'll be my 10. So we go 1... Hello? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I want to do second group of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll do our 2 that are getting underclocked and overclocked. One there and one there. Okay, there we go. Much better. I like that one. So here's what we're gonna do. We need to grab a bunch of splitters. We're gonna start putting them in all along here. They're gonna line up with the mergers here, so we get a nice straight line coming out of there. We're also going to need a second splitter here because we need to be splitting to go to the rest of those. So So we'll keep filling this in along here. That can be for all of our iron. And then we can do the coal two different ways. We can keep, and I think I'll do it. I think the way I'll do the coal is I'll do the coal from underneath, since I have a little bit of extra space down below, and it'll keep things a little bit cleaner up top. So let's keep putting in, these would be for all the iron, iron ingots. Oh, my brain's just not working right today. Okay, so yeah, splitters in all along here. This will be our manifold line. Our iron, even all the way out to here. Same with I forgot this one on this side. So I'm just going to connect all of those up really quick. And then I think I'm going to try and start turning some of these things on. Just to get them going and get them filling up, hopefully. I mean, this isn't like a crazy big build, so you don't really have to, but see how much room I have, because it, like, in order to do so, I'll have to add in some awesome sinks, and I'll have to make sure I have room for that stuff. So, yeah, it's getting a little bit laggy here. Should be okay, though. So those are all hooked up now. So what we're going to do is we need to do a little bit of downclocking here. We do a quick calculation on how much, all right. Actually, no, yeah, so these ones stay the same. They'll be all set to, not compacted solid steel ingot. So you can set those to be the same. Get that 600. And then yeah, for this one, we're going to put in one of those. Add 7.5. You can be red. And then the down clock to 18.75 per minute. Or 31% of the machine's capabilities. Oh, also just realized I have to put a merger in here to be able to mix the rest of these machines together. Because I kind of need all the iron over here. So we'll grab merger here. And then this stuff goes to, this stuff does not get mixed together. This stuff is for making the iron plates. This one I can just connect in like those. Just like that. Super easy, super clean. That back one is mixing in together with everybody else. So those are ready to go. I just need mergers on the back of my steel foundries here. Make sure they're all facing away from you. Or I guess depending on which way you're facing. We want to send them all down this way. Same with these ones on the back side. And yeah, for all the coal for this entire setup, I'm just going to feed it all from down below. So we're just going to go floor holes. Basically right in front of your foundry inputs here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build the manifold system for the coal underneath. Keeping this floor looking nice and tidy. Oops. Trying to get my lifts in here. And then I think I need to give my computer a break because it is struggling at the moment. So I'm going to build the manifold system down here. That'll take Smelter foundry area off our to-do list. And then we can move on to constructors. So it's a lot of inputs, but honestly, it can really just be one manifold line. So what I'll do is I'll put one line of splitters going down the middle. I'll try and line them up with all the holes. And then we'll put one there for now. We'll just shift it into position. Make sure I turn it to be the right way. There we go. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put these all the way down. Make sure it's in line. It's hard to see sometimes. Make sure these are all in line. There we go. And I can do lifts coming down from everybody. And that'll be your manifold system for your coal. Just look like a big rib cage, basically. Alright, we got some coal preloaded from down below. It is looking nice and clean. I really like the way that ended up coming together quite nice. So now we've got those all done. Now we just got to hook these up to power. So I'll have to throw in some power through here. And then I don't think I'm going to worry about turning things on just yet, because I'm just going to put in like too many sinks and then just take them out, and it's not really a big deal. I think just having those kind of already set up ready to go looks good. And I mean, especially in the case of the copper ore, the conveyor belt's so long. I mean, it's kind of just pretty much turn this on and be ready to go. But yeah, so let's get into our constructor stage now. So we can take smelter and foundry area off the to-do list. That's a big one. Those are probably the biggest like percentage of machines that we're going to be placing today. Now we're going into constructors, and there's some of these that's like place 2 constructors, place 3 constructors. Like some of them are real small. Okay, so constructors. I ended up changing the smelters here. The deuterium ones are now doing 13.333 each per minute. And the reason for that is because they are basically going to get fed into... Okay, so constructor time. We're going to go ahead and put, looks like 4 constructors. We're going to plop those down right in front of the deuterium to make quick wire. And then we're going to need 5 constructors. This is the part where we're doing AI limiters. We're going to need 5 constructors making copper sheets. That'll go somewhere around here. And then we'll just need just two assemblers for doing the AI limiters. So let's start with the constructors through quick wire. I think I have a 4 constructor manifold basically ready to go just for this situation. We make sure they're actually facing the right way. I think that's right. So bearing in mind, I do have to fit mergers still on the smelters. I haven't done that part yet. I'm going to put this one right here. That'll be for quick wire. And then I need another 5 to do copper sheets. So I'll just slap in another one of these, and we'll add in another one like another one. All right, there we go. So we got 5. These are going to be doing copper sheets. Go ahead and set those right now. They don't have to be underclocked or overclocked. We need 50 copper sheets. So just go ahead and set those. Did the 5th one on the end. And these are going to be doing the quick wire. I need a total of 200. So 4 would be giving me 240. So I need to take off 40. So I'm going to just take 10 off each one, and we'll just do 50 from each one. I mean, as you can see, I did shift it forward too, because it just seemed a little weird to have it kind of separated off back away from everything else. So here, let me throw the mergers on. My hotbar is not working. There we go. Let me throw the mergers onto the foundry, or to the smelters here. I actually lined it up perfectly with that splitter right there. There we go. I think that probably makes the most sense. So yeah, now I'll have deuterium ingots going right there into the quick wire. And then, yes, I'm merging them just to split them again, but this just so I don't have to do any sort of like weird number changes or anything. So this is going to feed your line of copper sheets, and then it's going to split also to feed the rest of the copper ingots go to make copper wire. Okay, just so I know for space, I want to be able to get my iron plate constructors in here really quick. So I'm going to slide these in here. These are going to be making, so I needed 3.2. That just means I'll be downclocking the one on the end by quite a bit. And then now I want to be able to put in the assemblers for the AI limiters, because I just need 2 of them, like I said. So we're not going to be using my blueprint for this, because it's just the 2 of them. I will put them like right here. Should be enough room. I can just get them like right next to each other. If that makes sense. So like 1, 2. And then to feed them, we'll go like 1 splitter there, coming from that merger. And that'll be our copper sheets. And then the quick wire that we need for this. Grab mergers. stack them like this. I think I can do the triple stack. There we go. That'll be the AI limiters. That was super simple. So we can just go ahead and pick these now. Where are they? Right there. And these also don't have to be underclocked or overclocked, so you can just leave these to also be 100%. Super efficient, super clean. This is gonna be a nice looking factory when this is all done. Very clean layout. I'd like to start doing like more multi-floor builds and everything in 1.0 when I can get back to doing cosmetics, but and especially for like people that are just like playing for their first time or trying to learn stuff. I feel like this is really good for having stuff all like flat out in the open as best you can. So AI limiters done. You take that off the to-do list now as well. I can click on it. Hello, there we go. Now we get to do some stitched iron plates. That's going to be getting the okay, so this is where we need to put in the constructors that do the wire. So let me do those really quick first. We need this is 8.2. So I'm probably going to end up doing 8 and overclock. There we go. I ended up just doing 9 because I was like, you know what? What's life without a little whimsy? We'll just make random decisions as we go, whether I decide to underclock or overclock or just add in an extra machine. So I need a total of, how much wire do I need? 120 plus 125. So I need 245 wire. And I currently make 270. So 270 minus 245 means I gotta lose 25. So let's go to the first one, so it just backs up a little faster. And we'll make 5 per minute. How about that? Alright, so now we're gonna set up some stitched iron plate assemblers. This is an alternate recipe once again. And I need a total of, it says 3.4, we're going to say it's 4. And I'm going to set them up right next to these ones right here. To save myself some space, give myself a little bit of room in between them. So let's see if I can fit in 4 just like this. We'll go 1, 2, 3, nope. Gotta snug them up just a little closer. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, it's not gonna fit? Dang. Guess we'll have to turn them. Thought it was gonna be so smooth with it. Okay, so it is getting the iron plates that come from here, and I can't remember if I mentioned it or not. So you need to downclock your first one to 2.5 per minute, and then the other ones can just stay the same. You know, sometimes I split it evenly, sometimes I don't. You know, I just kind of make it up as I go along. So we're gonna throw in the 4 assembler. We're gonna grab from right there, and actually I think here I'll just end up using my blueprint for them. So we'll grab our assembler blueprint down here somewhere. There it is. There we go. This way it'll all be set up ready to go, and then we'll just add a 4th one onto the very end. So we'll just snap that in like that. Put that one on the end. We're going to set these to stitched iron plates. How many do I need per minute? I think it's 18 something, 18.75. So we're going to go stitched iron plate. There you are right there. Paste it onto those. So if I need 18.75, these make, wow, what a weird number. 5.625 per minute. 5.625 per minute times 4. 22.5. Okay. Oh, we'll figure this out. So let's go. Actually, here, you know what? We'll do 18.75 divided by 4. How about that? I don't like that either. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that was really confusing me. So what I've ended up doing is I'm dropping the first 3 to 5. That'll give me 15, and then I'll do the end one 3.75. That's 18.75. Those are just weird numbers before to try and work with. I was like, I can do this, don't worry. Okay, so just throw the mergers and splitters on there. Your one line is going to get fed from your iron plates here. The other one we're going to have to bring, we'll have to send it down below. It's going to get some of the copper wire from here. We'll have to bring that underneath and then up. So since I'm going to have to bring one of them up, we'll go just like this. Actually, no, I'll bring this one over. Just like that. So that's your iron plates line. And then I'm just going to adjust this one. Probably 1.0 when I actually do like a lot more blueprints. I'll start making like all the variations and everything. So instead of like doing this by hand all the time, we actually have them set up and ready to go. All right, there we go. So we got the iron plates coming down onto our bottom line. We'll have the copper wire coming up onto the top section here. We'll bring that over from down below. And it'll merge together here on the end to be our reinforced iron plates. And then these are going to get mixed together with the, we haven't set them up yet, but it's going to be some iron rods made from the alternate steel rod recipe. That's just another way I got the iron input to be under 600. So those iron rods are going to get mixed with these reinforced iron plates. That's going to make us some modular frames. That's just a normal recipe. And then those modular frames are going to get mixed together with some steel beams that we have to set up the constructors for. And that'll be going to an assembler for our versatile framework. Beautiful. So we got our stitched iron plates done. We can take that off our to-do list right here. And that is going to move us into our steel production. Like I said, we got steel rods, steel pipes, and steel beams. We're going to set up the production for all of those. A couple of them are pretty small, and then the steel beam constructors, I think, is 10 constructors, so that'll be a little bit extra. So I'm going to kind of set them up, I think, probably going along here somewhere. So knowing that the rods are going to get mixed together with the output from right here, I think maybe I'll put the rod constructors at least right here, because I also only need 2 of them, so that's pretty nice. So let's go ahead and throw those down here really quick. I'm not even going to use blueprints for this. It's literally just 2 constructors. So I want them to be right, let's call it like right here. So put those 2 right next to each other like that. And then I only need a total of 75 per minute. So we can do 75 divided by 2. It's 37.5. So we're going to go to the steel rod recipe. It usually makes 48 per minute. We're going to give it 37.5. We're going to copy that. Paste it on there. Another 37.5 for a total of 75 per minute. I'm just going to throw the little mergers on here really quick. And this will be our 2 inputs going into a few more assemblers. I'll actually just kind of throw those in right now just so I know what my space is that I'm using. Make sure I get a correct number. 6.3, so I might go with 6 just to save room here, and then we'll just overclock one. Because if I was to go 6 more in this direction, it would basically block off this entire thing, so I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go 6 in this direction, I think. Should probably work. I guess maybe I'll just do 3 and 3. Yeah, I'm going to do 3 and 3. So actually, let me just grab my... now I can do this with a blueprint since it's 3 and 3. I guess it's still going to take up... If I did it in a stack like going this way, it'd still take up the rest of the room there. So I guess what we'll have to do is we'll have to send everything... No, 2 groups of 3. We'll just have to do all 6 going this way, and hopefully we can just make it work with the room that we have. Starting to get a little bit tight. May have to add a little bit of room onto our platform. I do have this section down here. This was going to be more for the final section where it takes 10 manufacturers. I kind of knew obviously that wasn't going to fit up here, but that should fit down here. There's not too many more assemblers I have to put up here, I don't think. I think it's like another 3 for the electromagnetic control rods, and another 5 for the versatile framework, so a total of 8. I think that'll fit in here. I mean, we're certainly going to find out. So, but the first things first, we got to finish here is the actual steel production. One, I didn't even finish setting up the splitters on our input for our steel here. So I'm going to set this one up like this. Then I'll just throw a quick little line in like that. And I'm going to figure out which one this actually gets fed from, because it's not very much. This one gets the 18.75, which is this one. So I can actually just run a line directly out of this guy right here. Just like that. There we go. Doesn't have to go underneath. It can just feed right in like that. What does this one feed? This one feeds the pipes that I haven't made yet. Okay. Speaking of which, let's do those right now. Let's do, looks like I need 3. So I'm going to do it going along here. This should work, I think. We have to move that belt a little bit, but that'll be okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Put the input from this direction behind it. And we're going to rotate them like that. There we go. So we got our splitters in. I'll throw in our mergers here off the back. Give myself a little bit of room to play with here. I'll have a little bit, yeah, I'll have a little bit extra off the back for when I put in the rest of my constructors, I think. Actually, no, I'll make those, put those a little bit closer. Don't need to waste too much space, right? So 1, 2, 3. These pipes are going to go into some more assemblers for stators. You know what? It seems like I probably am going to end up having to add more room. That's okay. So floor hole on there. The lift, and these are going to be set to pipes. I need a total of 45 per minute, which means I can set this one to 5. And these ones can just be normal. Alright, I just connected up the reinforced iron plates and the rods into our modular frame line, and then as I said, I was going to overclock it so I don't have to add a 7th onto the end. We put 1 power shard in and an extra 0.5 onto this one on the end. That'll give us a total of 12.5 modular frames per minute. So last but not least of the steel production is 10 constructors set to do steel beams. No underclocking, no overclocking required. We're going to grab our 8 constructor manifold, and then we'll just add 2 onto the very end. Make sure they're actually facing the correct direction. So we can slide them in right there. I think they'll fit in no problem. So we go, that's 8. Grab our constructors here. Slide in an extra 2 on the end for a total of 10. Alright, so it's pretty clear to me that I should just add a little bit more space, because otherwise everything's just going to be like crowded on top of each other. So let's go ahead and grab a little bit more, or 1 more of our blueprints. We'll add another 4 down, and then it's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these across. There we go. Better be safe, have a little bit extra space to work with, and, you know, panic at the very end, be like, oh no, I'm off by like 1 space and now everything has to be moved, and I don't want to have to do that. So that is now our steel production taken off our to-do list finally. And that means we can move into taking the input from these 6 manufacturers, or these 6 assemblers, and we can take the output from these 10 constructors, and we can turn that into 5 assemblers right here, making versatile frameworks. I may end up turning these around actually, so that they're coming down this way. Yeah, we should do that really quick. So all these mergers on the back, we're going to flip them around and send it back this way. There we go. So now I at least have both my, well, there'll be my input lines coming from right here. So now let me grab 5 assemblers. Let's do this one by hand really quick, so I can place them where I want them. Can I squeeze it in here? No, that's getting in a little too close. So I think what I'll do is maybe like that. Because I need 5. Oh, can I fit 5 going this way? Actually, new plan, because now I'm realizing since these are for the versatile framework, they are just going to go into the manufacturers that are eventually going to be down there. So I'm actually going to put these over here. And I'm going to turn these mergers, maybe not, Probably don't need to. I just turn the 1. Yeah, I'll just turn the 1. Or would I line it up with this one? Yeah, line up with this one. So I'm going to turn this merger so that it's actually facing this way. Then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, there we go. Sorry to skip ahead a little bit on you guys. So I've got my modular frames output that comes up, goes into a lift, comes up to a raised up conveyor line here, feeding into these 5 assemblers that I'm now going to set all of them to do the versatile framework. We're going to set that all just as normal. I need a total of 25 of these per minute. So at least now I know numbers for the future builds going forward. So when we're building versatile frameworks for space elevator parts early on, try and do 25. And then you'll be set up for basically already doing all the space elevators all the way through the game. So yeah, I think that'll probably be the number I work with going forward. You know, decent sized build to be taking on early in the game, but you know, I think things are probably going to be a little bit bigger for me going forward anyway. So now that we have those all set up ready to go, we're just going to throw some mergers onto the back here, just all the way down the line, and then I will move on to the stators portion because I kind of skipped ahead a little bit to the versatile framework. And I didn't do the actual stators because once we have because we got the modular frames done, but we need to do the stators, and once those are done, then we can basically run the lines to the electromagnetic control rods. And I mean, now the versatile framework one's already done, and then we can move on to the magnetic field generator, bringing those batteries over, and then that's gonna be it. We're gonna be loading everything. We're gonna go to all the places we've been building the final space elevator parts so far. We're gonna set up drone hubs to have my drones come and pick them all up and fly them back to base, and then we are going to send off that beautiful space elevator one last time for this world, for now at least. I don't know if you guys saw, but they did announce that tier 9 is coming to phase 5. Tier 9 is coming to the game in 1.0. So while I will be doing a full restart, I may it depends how broken this world's going to get with the 1.0 changes. I may try and hop onto this one as well at some point and just like push it through the final space elevator tier phase. I may not, we'll see. But I did think that was really cool that they did finally announce the next final phase and final tier of the game. I kind of had a feeling it was coming, so it's nice to hear that there's going to be not only some fun new things to do all along, all the way through the game itself, but there's also going to be more end game stuff for when you get through your official final builds and everything, just to kind of, you know, gives even some more longevity to the game, I guess. But anyway, let's jump into our stators. We only need a solid 3 assemblers for our stators, and they get fed by steel pipes and copper wire. And so our steel pipes are coming from, where are steel pipes? There you are. There's my steel pipes. So steel pipes are all the way over here. They're going to be getting mixed in with the wire all the way over here. So not a big deal. One of the 2 is going to have to get sent around for quite a ways underneath the platform here. So I think instead I will go ahead and grab our blueprints for the assemblers right here. And we will slap this bad boy in right here as best we can. Take off blueprint mode so that it's not locked into the platform. And I will slide those back just a little bit, give myself some space from the edge to work with. And I will go those 3 right there. A little tight right here, but that's okay because those are now going off in that direction, leaving us space to send things out this way. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to set these to stator. No underclocking, no overclocking required. Just like that. 5 per minute on this one. That gives us a total of 15. Those 15 stators are going to get mixed with the AI limiters, which are right here in the middle. We're going to send those underneath as well. Because I don't really have enough room in there. I could make a spaghetti belt if you really wanted to, but I really don't want to do that. Or no, you know what I mean. So those AI limiters are going to get mixed with these stators. Those are going to make our electromagnetic control rods. So that means I can throw another 3 assemblers basically here. And I think that is it for the assemblers. I believe that is. Okay, so I did add a little bit more room than I really needed. I could have moved these down a little further if I wanted to, but I don't want to. I'm going to leave myself a little bit extra space up here for activities. So we're going to grab another one of those blueprints really quick, just so we can get this section kind of finished off at least. Grab our 3 assembly blueprint. I never ended up reorganizing everything because we've gotten so close to the end, but you know, in 1.0 I'll definitely have my blueprints organized again. So throw down another 3 of these right here. Actually, I can probably just face them in this direction. But I'm actually going to turn them since most of the stuff's going to be coming from... Actually, no, that's not going to work. Just have to do it like this. We'll slide it in right there since we got a little bit extra room to play with. And then we will set those. I do have to downclock the one on the very end because I only need 10 per minute. So you're going to pick electromagnetic control rod here. Where was it? I must have scrolled right past it. I did. There it is. Taking stators and AI limiters. We're going to downclock one of these. This would be making 12 in total per minute. So we drop this down to 2. That's going to give us a total of 10. All right, so I've got pretty much everybody's inputs and outputs set up now, except for I need to go underneath and I need to do this like splitter system for the copper wire, because the copper wire is to go from here. It's going to go underneath. Some of it needs to go here. No, that's quick wire. Sorry, some of it needs to go over here for the stitched iron plates. So I have to run one to underneath there. So that's 1. These get it 2. That's 2. I think that's it for the wire. I think it's just 2, yeah, 2 wire outputs. So we're going to take this line from down here. We're going to go underneath. We're going to take a look at this colossal mess of belts and lifts and everything we got down here. Everything's nice and cleanly put in though. So that would be one of our inputs for copper. And I believe that is the output for copper. And this is another input. So let's go ahead and grab a lift and bring it down. I think if I actually put, I think I can put a splitter right here and it'll snap the lift right into it. Perfect. And then now if I bring this over, or sorry, we're going to grab one more lift here. We're going to put it right here. Turn it this way. Put one of our belts in here. So that's copper input number 1. We got one more lift. Turn it around, face it this way. Grab the belt out of the splitter here. It's right to this line. And then in like that. So that is our copper system all set up now. Okay, so that we can technically bang 2 things off our to-do list then. We got the modular frames and the stators. Done. We got the electro control rods and the V-frames. Done. And that puts us onto the magnetic field generators. All, I think it was 10 manufacturers, I say. Yep. So we're going to slap those in along here. I think it's probably going to be best if we do 2 rows of 5, because I mean 10 manufacturers takes up a lot of space. So let's do 2 rows of 5. And since they're coming in from here, I'm going to set it up to, I guess we could do the blueprint, my 3 input manufacturer. I'll just have to turn them to go like this. So I'll go... Actually, maybe I should start more towards the bottom so I know how much space I actually have to work with. So if we go like 1 here... And I give myself a little bit of room in between because obviously we need to fit a merger in there. Might be a little bit too much space, but if it fits, it fits. Yeah, okay, I'm going to slide it back just a little bit. There we go. I'm going to line it up with right there. That gives me about a full distance gap in between, like a full platform. And it's split in half, but it gives me about 1 full. And that gives me the space to put my mergers in. Going right there. And my other merger right there. That way, the other way is going to be like the merger line to be like tucked under this lip here. And I was like, I mean, it's fine, but I wanted everything to be open on this bottom floor. So there we go. Now we just need to do 5 of these. So we'll grab blueprint mode. That's why. Control snap to those. So that's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Wow, this platform is just the right size. I'm glad I added a little bit. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let me double check my actual numbers. That yeah, it's 10 manufacturers, all set to magnetic field generators. No underclocking or overclocking required here. And because they make a total of 1 per minute. So we'll go copy and paste that onto all these. And we just got to do the mergers on the back. Everybody, connect up all your manifold belts, and we're good to go. And I think maybe for old time's sake, since this is basically one of the like final main episode. I mean, this is like the final main episode of the series. It's probably just going to be me goofing off doing some other stuff from here on out. I may also try the modded Satisfactory a little bit. I mean, I obviously won't get too deep into it, but I might give that a shot while we're waiting for 1.0 as well, just for something to do. So I'm going to have to add on a little bit here on the end so I can actually fit a... I mean, I guess technically if I really wanted to, I could just send the line... I could fit a drone port in right here, and then just send everything underneath it to fill it up over here. Or you can add space here on the end and just we'll fill them up that way. So I'm just going to throw our belts in here really quick onto all of our mergers and everybody. And then that's technically, I think, the end of the to-do list. These are all set up and ready to go. So yeah, the main thing from here is bringing our batteries over, the 50 per minute that we're going to need. And then you'll want to put... Okay, so I'm going to need 3... How's this going to work? I have 3 lines coming in. I need 3 splitters, yes? So it would be, say, 1 here. Lined up with there. 1 lined up with that belt. And then 1 smack right in the middle. I think this is technically right. So yes, but technically, so it is the 3 splitters, but technically they'll be split in a stack. So it would be going out like this. A little bit raised up. And then this would be coming around. Raise that up, put that in like that. And same thing with the third one. Comes to here, but it raises up just a little bit more. And then that one goes into there. And then I suppose I should just adjust this one to line up with it. Let me grab my lift here. I actually don't know how tall that's going to be, so... down 1. Oh, can't nudge it like that. Like that? There we go. I was like, this is hard when you can't actually see it. There you go. So that's our 3 input line. I mean, obviously I have nothing here yet, but that'll be, the middle part will be the batteries. So they can be the middle section there. And just fill in the rest of our belts and we're done. All right, and with that, we are taking magnetic field generators off our to-do list for today. And we are going to jump into, for old time's sake, a quick power montage, as well as getting those batteries hooked up. And over here, we'll run a belt. We got a belt running over. We just need to actually hook up the batteries from over there. And then we need to hook that belt up that's going underneath to this section over here. And then we can go ahead and turn everybody on. I think what I'll do is I'll get the belt set up for the batteries and we'll do the power in the montage. And then I'll come back, turn everything on. And then we'll go over and hook up the actual batteries because I feel, oh, I guess it probably won't. We can just let them start getting backed up. It'll probably be fine.
yeah, let's get some batteries sent over here. We'll get everything going. So yeah, let's jump into the montage and I'll see you guys when ready to turn everything on. Alright, it was probably a bit of a short montage, but it looks like we are ready to throw some power to this factory. Throw it on this power line right here. This should turn everything on. For the most part, might take a little bit for things to actually get filled up. We'll take a few seconds to monitor what we got going on here. Make sure we don't see any red lights. Yellow lights are fine. It means they're just waiting to get backed up. Green lights are ideal. Red light, bad. It's getting a little laggy here, but I'm still hanging in there as best I can. Didn't see any red lights going all the way around, so I think we're pretty much good to go. It's quite a nice little factory layout we got here. So I believe batteries are, I believe batteries are coming down this way now. Yeah, we got some batteries coming down this way. The very final thing we're going to be waiting on is probably the electromagnet. I feel like we'll probably have the versatile frameworks next. And then the other thing we'll be waiting on is the electromagnetic controller. Because they got, oh, hang on. Spoke too soon. Said there was no red. But this is actually just because I forgot to turn this one on. There we go. Power to everybody. Alright, and we do have our drone port here. We're going to call this Magnetic Field Jenny. Alright, so while I'm waiting for this factory to kind of balance itself out, I'm just going to run to the other ones we have. We have the assembly director systems coming from over there. The thermal propulsion rockets are over at our heavy oil residue platform. Those ones will be ready to go, ready to be sent back as well. I believe we probably even have, might have 4,000 of those ones already. We definitely have 1,000 of the thermal rockets and the nuclear pasta, but so we'll get those two sent back over. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have everything delivered back to base, and then I'm just going to load it all into, like have it all delivered into some storage bins, like right next to the space elevator, so that we can actually be there when it's all filling up. So, I that pretty much is bringing us to that definitely brings us to the end of this build. So while we wait for the night to pass, like I said, just hop around to the nuclear pasta facility over there, the assembly directors over there, and the thermal propulsion rockets over there. All you got to do is throw a drone port on. You don't have to add in a drone or anything, which is good because then we don't have to... Whoa, what is happening over there? He's casting his mirage spell. So basically you just have to add on a drone port, and we're going to use all our extra drones from back home. I mean, obviously we don't really need them doing anything else at this point. So basically you can cancel anything else they're working on back there. I mean, I wouldn't, because I'm pretty sure I'm actually using some things that way. But yeah, go ahead and cancel or get some drones hooked up to come pick these things up. And then we'll be ready to go back to base. I'll meet you guys probably back at the base with some storage. We'll put in some storage bins. And then we should be loading in the space elevator for the final time. All right, so I am back at the home base. And we don't spend enough time here. This place is actually pretty cool, especially the waterfall right here. So, I mean, realistically, I kind of did these builds out of order. I mean, you guys know I did the thermal rockets and the nuclear pasta first, which I really shouldn't have done because we only need 1,000 of those. Those are done. Those are in these chests right here. The only problem is we still don't have, because I didn't technically have the game running long enough, I don't have the 4,000 assembly director systems yet. I have about 3,000, so we're pretty close. And then to get the 4,000 magnetic field generators is going to take 6.6 hours because I only make 600 per hour and I need 4,000. So instead of, I don't know, I said we were going to load everything in today. But so here's what I'm going to do. So this is my episode, I think, that goes up for Tuesday. So we'll stretch it to also an episode going up on Thursday. And the Thursday episode will be finishing off the space elevator. So I'm not going to load these in just yet. I want to do everything together all at once because I think that'll be cool. I realized in order to have 4,000, because I think I ran out of room after, like, I didn't even have enough room for 3,000. You need 2 storage boxes to hold 4,000 of the things that stack in 50. So those are also, I mean, they're semi set up, ready to go. But yeah, we have nuclear pasta in here ready to go. We have the thermal propulsion rockets in here ready to go. We're actually syncing these 2 items now, which is actually good. That leads me into what the next and final episode is going to be. We'll be loading up the space elevator, and I need, what is it, a total of like 1,200 total tickets to buy all the fancy trophies. I know you need 1,000 just to get the golden nut, and I'm only at like 600. So the next episode, I'll just kind of cram it down into where I basically run around to every factory and I sync every possible item that I have and try and get that, all the trophies. And then I'll consider that more or less the final, like, again, not the final episode in the series. I still want to do like a weapons factory. I think I want to try that out. But then, yeah, I think maybe I'll try maybe some modded Satisfactory would be pretty cool to try too. Yeah, I'll wait till this autosave is done and we'll jump back into it. Okay, so it looks like we actually need a total of about 1,500. I think it's like 14 something. So 1,000, 1,300. Those 2 is 1,400. 1,550. 1,575. So yeah, we need almost 1,600 fix-it coupons to get all the awards here. And obviously we want to get every single one, so that'll probably be, we'll squeeze that into our final episode. I may even have to like connect a few things together and try and like overclock some stuff. But I feel like if I sunk literally every item that I'm making in the world, I think that's got to be worth like pretty good amount of points. Especially like once the space, like, because some of the space elevator parts are going into the sink now too, so they're gonna be banking me quite a bit. Actually, I'm gonna it's about like my max peak. Oh, I've seen way higher than that. We can get this way higher. So yeah, I think that's gonna bring us to the end of the episode today. We get you a little bonus episode, a bonus extra episode that I wasn't originally planning on doing, just because I built these kind of out of order. So make sure you guys come back again for the more or less final episode of this series. Like I said, probably going to do a couple more things in this world, and then also load up some new worlds so that I can get some more performance back, and then just also work on some other projects, and like I said, maybe try modded as well. Other than that, I appreciate you guys being here. If you're still here, you're not subscribed yet, please do. I think it's like 70% of people aren't subscribed to watch my videos. Leave a like, leave a comment. If you really want to support the channel, you can become a YouTube member or check out the Patreon. Both have like fairly cheap membership options. And I will see you guys in the next one.